wrong, Mo? What's wrong? Look, which one is Owen? That's not, who's Owen? Where's Owen at? He's in the orange? Where he at? He all the way down there? Oh, thank you for the water, because I think we're going to die. It's loud. We just sent that to, you might want to call him and tell him we good. We might need a little bit more later, but we good right now. It's hot, y'all. It's lawnmowers. Happy Independence Day.
He's out of the sun.
Yeah, you want to sit him in the shade. Everything in the shade. We can't move the tables. Nope.
That says I'm glad to meet you because I've been watching you all along on YouTube.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Islam.
I learned a
Look
lot.
at the beautiful baby. Hi. How you doing?
We all been watching a lot.
Islam.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. I'm liking what? What you say?
I said you like the sun.
Of course. You gotta
y'all ain't
give
got no
praises to the
shirts for sale
sun. Let me tell you, we did this. Go ahead, give it. I told her 2 days ago. I was like, I need t-shirts, y'all.
Yes, I heard you on it. I heard you on the
If
post.
you want, so we can.
We gonna have them up. We gonna have them probably. Well, you talk. How soon you gonna have some shirts?
I mean, we can have shirts. We'll have you send out the what's it called when everything's ready.
Okay, I'm gonna come get me some.
Everybody can send in deposits and we'll have them out.
It's
25.
25. Now let me show y'all all the moles that was waiting for me, and I ain't gonna tell y'all why y'all was waiting for me. Why y'all was waiting for me? Look all that. Look all that. Look all that, y'all. Look all that. Look at it. I'm pinning it around to y'all. Look all those bows. Look all those bows. That's long. If I could switch it back around, that would be great. There we go. Islam.
Sit down over here.
Happy Moorish Independence Day.
I got a question for you.
Yes, what's the questions you have? Well, let's ask the first question. Who is all here to nationalize? How many people here to nationalize? How many people to get their documents? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? What? Where are you from?
I'm here.
Where are you from originally? Your ancestry. Yes, your mom and your mom's mom.
I know some of them some of them
From Europe. Yep.
I'm part Cherokee and part Black.
Well, just realize Cherokees and tribals are corporate in nature. Your descendancy comes, no, what I mean is your descendancy comes from your mother. So whatever your mother is, you are. Now, individuals who don't have nationality within Morocco would have to get subject status.
I'm not here for subject status. I'm here to do my nationality.
Well, what's your nationality then?
It's Aboriginal.
Aboriginal Indigenous. You know what Aboriginal Indigenous means?
From here.
No, blood ties you to soil, not where you were born.
It's part of my life.
Part of it. Oh, it's hot.
So now, sis,
I'm gonna kill you. Why am I gonna kill you? What you do? You didn't do what? What's wrong? All right, I'm gonna pass out real quick to everybody that needs. Now, there's an app that you can download. It's called Scanner. It's Can Scanner, or Adobe Reader has an app for scanning, because before we leave today, all of your nationalities need to be scanned in. So if I have to download the app, or if I ask one of you to download the app so you can do it, that'd be great. Probably can't do it on your phone. You gonna have to do it on my phone? You gonna do it on your phone? Look, we needed a generator.
What is it called?
We needed a generator for some electricity. That's what we need today. And I'm gonna be in those sprinkles by the end of the day because it's freaking hot. Islam. Nationality. Nationality. Make sure you do red pens, and you might need assistance completing them.
yes.
Do you need one too? We might be done these in like an hour, y'all. Everybody else gonna have to get emails. Who else? Nationality. Who else need nationality? Oh, y'all already got paperwork already? Oh, okay. Anybody else need nationality paperwork? Islam, you Owens? Islam. I love the orange shirt. I love the orange shirt. Got the pin on it. Yes. He is nationalized. He came down New York.
What happened was the brother told me there's some kind of error on my paperwork. I don't know what.
Who told you that?
Damascus Bay.
Oh, y'all like my t-shirts?
I love that t-shirt.
We're going to have these at class as well as online within the next couple of days. We'll have those. We'll be broadcasting on and off all day, but if you are local to Philadelphia, which is where we actually are at Morocco right now, that everybody thinks is the independence of something that doesn't really exist, but it's the independence of Moorish American Nationality Day. That is the 4th day of Rajab, 1439. In the Christian calendar, it's July 4th, 2019. If you are local and you want to nationalize, you better bring your butt down here before we run out of documents. We're here. Don't call me. Call someone else because I'm on broadcast. So if you, or email me your email address. Text me at 610-803-1170. Text me your email address and I'll send you the nationalization package along with the Moorish American Consulate grid so you can get your grids done as soon as you can. Islam? All right. What you laughing at?
No, she said the baby farted.
I said it.
Oh, the baby farted?
Over there.
Oh, he's a cutie. He's a cutie little baby.
It's not me. I found it.
You need to stand. Who's this? Is this him? I'll tell you, I can't come up here, enjoy the sun, and chill. I gotta do work. Pax it to do it.
Since I got some questions.
You got questions.
I got some questions.
You got questions.
Now, I want to know, right? Because I'm bound to have a license.
You're bound.
Yeah.
Who bound you to have a license? How you gonna ask me to sign to seal some documents and you ain't signed them? Amin Ra, you ain't signed them yet. You got to sign them first and Johnny Hancock them first. Ooh, it's so hot. Oh my
Okay, so
goodness. It's hot, y'all.
how does that affect me when I work?
You tried to see it. Thank you. This is thank you. You got 9.5 water.
You know, step it up.
Water is water.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drink all of it. By the end of the day, I'm going to still be dehydrated.
The Social Security number, your Social Security number.
Think about the Social Security number.
Well, it's going to be mine once I nationalize. I can own that, right? Don't I control that?
What? Did you watch my videos?
I watch my
Can you
videos.
control something that you haven't created? All you can do is kill anybody from using it, because keep in mind, why was the Social Security and the birth certificate created to begin with? Because the only person that can certify your birth is your mother. And she is supposed to do it de jurely, not through a corporate state, which is what a lot of our mothers did ignorantly.
Right.
But that doesn't hold you to a contract. What holds you to a contract or a presumed contract is the fact that your ignorance of law, as well as not realizing what constitutes anybody's authority. See, this is the piece. We can't just go based on feelings, beliefs, or what people tell us. We go based on law. The reasons why we're in the situations that we're in is because people don't know law, and people go by what they hear or what they see on the television. It's not reality. The realities are when the so-called birth certificate and Social Security card was completed, that gave this corporate jurisdiction, this corporate company jurisdiction over the person. And the only reasons why, and we talk about natural persons, and because there's a difference between persons and natural persons, which is why you got to make the distinction. When that happened, your mother, unaware of what she was doing, many of them still to today, unaware that they are giving their children up to slavery. Okay. And the enslavement starts with the mentality of people thinking that just because they're born at a specific place, just because they think that they, claim a specific thing, validates their process. No, law is absolute, and even if you are going to be ignorant of it, you're still going to be subject or held to that law. And the reality is, a lot of these corporations, companies claiming to be government, claiming to be state, claiming to have any jurisdiction, are only able to claim that through the ignorance of the people. So if the people don't know nothing, you can be deceived. You're being deceived every day, thinking that there is law and there are certain corporations that are identifying fraudulently, because we've abandoned that status. We've abandoned our sovereignty. And if you do, and if you go on Facebook, and if you friend request me as well as go to the groups, we post all of the legalities, or not even lawfulness, of everything that we say, because we don't have to have a belief. We don't have to hear something, because to be a Moor is to be upright and just, as well as to be competent in the law and knowledgeable. So you can't be deceived to think that somebody who may have been born here but doesn't have the bloodline to sit here and say that they're a Moroccan. So you know that is a hypothecation of your estate, because many of us don't know that. So when our mothers created us and gave us those birth certificates, they told us to identify as a strong. They told us to identify outside of our nativity. And because of the ignorance of her, automatically meant the ignorance of ourselves. And so whenever we're dealing with these corporations, we are ignorant. Not only are we ignorant, we are being held to those contracts we think are legitimate that don't even go, they're presumed. And they're only presumed, and we only apply them to us because we're ignorant. But once you become knowledgeable in the law, you can no longer be fooled by traps set by those hypothecating what is yours.
So can I choose which contracts that I want to keep?
Huh?
Can I do that?
What do you mean when you choose? You got to validate what you just said.
Okay, what I mean is this. I work, and I survive off this. This is how I make my money.
Realize the reasons why you work. The reasons why you think you're surviving when you're not. You're enslaved. You're enslaved because you think that you make money. You're enslaved because you think
I know I don't make money. I know
How
that.
you know that?
Well, because I've done some research. I'm not completely ignorant. I'm not out here just without knowing anything. I just don't know what I need to know. That's why I'm here. So I
And the
can't
grid
learn.
is going to show you. It's stepping stones, and as you get through the tiers, one all the way through, through your demonstration and your administrative procedures and regaining your estate, you're going to realize none of the things that you think you need today, you'll need tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's going to be something that you're not going to come to 100% clarity today, because that is impossible. It is an actual demonstration and an actual exorcism of what you think you know.
So we need to unlearn to relearn.
So what I'm saying is,
And to gain, actually not to learn, but to gain knowledge. That's the difference.
Right
Because
now,
we've been educated,
what I'm saying is,
but we don't know nothing.
I earn a nice amount of fiat. Okay.
Okay.
And I buy groceries with that fiat. And I feed myself and my children.
You
So-
think the fiat is what's doing that, but
Okay.
it's not.
Maybe it could be my
It's
energy.
just something that they've given you
Okay.
to pacify you, to think that you've earned something, to think that you're not enslaved.
What I'm asking you to do is come to my level, so because I know you understand what I'm saying.
You got to come up
And
to
you're-
mine. I can't come down to yours.
Okay.
Would that be crazy?
No, not necessarily.
Why
because
not?
tell
I know
you-
exactly what you're saying. I already know what
I
you're
know
saying.
I know you know exactly what I'm saying, because you understand.
You're gonna
you've been
automatically
on this
through-
level.
Exactly.
You've been here, so you
Exactly.
can ID exactly what I'm saying.
And I can't
And
tell
you're
you.
correcting me.
And I can't tell you, because guess what? As you gain knowledge, you're going to automatically know what to do. Automatically.
Okay.
What my job is as a Supreme Judiciary member is to clear the way for you to be yourself. But in clearing that way, you will have to do the demonstration yourself.
Oh,
Nobody
absolutely.
can do it for you.
Absolutely.
That's right.
But what my main thing is from what I even say like this. My belief is I'm surviving by feeding my family the way I do.
Right.
The way that is done.
Right.
Regardless
But you
of
don't
how
have a family, because that's a slave terminology.
Okay,
You have a
I
tribe.
didn't know that.
I know.
my
There's going to be a lot of interruptions because people are going to be calling me. I have this on Do Not Disturb, but that don't mean nothing today when people want to block certain activity. Pass it to me.
in short, this is what I want to do. I want to break the chains. That's
You
what
want to do what?
I want to break the chains. I don't want to be a slave.
It's wrong.
You understand
That's
what I'm
why we're here.
But as we understand, we are embedded in this society. So to do that, it's not
This
like...
society is an illusion. It's not real.
Okay. I understand.
Won't you do the first step and get your paperwork done?
Okay. Now this has everything to do with my paperwork.
You think filling out that paperwork is going to change anything for you?
No, I'm trying to find something out.
Tell me
Yeah.
exactly what you're trying to say without beating around the bush.
I'm not beating around the bush. It's just that my language that I'm using, you're correcting me on every way, and that's a good thing.
I'm going to stop talking and let you talk.
It's a good. You correct me on everything I say, right? So I do know you understand what I'm saying.
Overstand. 'Cause I don't
Over,
stand
okay,
nothing.
there you go. Correct. So you overstand exactly what I'm saying because you've been where I'm at.
Islam.
What I'm trying to do and understand is
What is Islam?
I don't know. Tell me.
I self-law master. What is Islam?
I don't know what that
Because isms means the study of. So I self-law and master, and you're being master of yourself. Islamism is the study of yourself. All you're doing is regaining the reality that you have to know who you are. And there can be no mistakes as to who you are. That's what Islamism is. It's a so-called realignment of peace. Because if you know yourself and you know the laws, only way peace can exist in a land where people don't know themselves.
Well, I tell you like this, sis. I'm frustrated because I'm ignorant. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm trying to come into the knowledge. There's certain things that I need to know. I need to learn. You understand what I'm saying? For myself, so that I know how I move. So I understand you correct me on everything that I say, and I don't have no problem with that. It comes in, and I suck it up.
What's your sign?
Me, I'm a Pisces.
Okay, go ahead.
It comes in, and I attach to it. I suck it up. But I do understand that things that I'm saying, you can ID. So what I'm saying is, well, this, how can I still, or does it affect the way I eat? You
Nope,
understand what I'm saying?
doesn't have to. Not yet.
This doesn't.
I ain't giving you no information.
Because it's up to you. whether
Write it
you
on the
wanna
back of
still
the piece
use
of
your
paper. I don't want to
security.
use
That's
my
pretty much
information.
how I know.
Put in the information sheet.
Pretty much.
See, you were supposed to have a
just don't have to
package
change
right.
anything.
How I learned from what you did, and you came without a package. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You was waiting for
Get
conveyance.
a number, sort of like social security number.
I want to turn the thing around so you can see all the beautiful people having fun, but
Your
Facebook just want to be mad because
without
I'm
using
here.
your social security.
Facebook want to be mad. I just want to show you something. I want to show you something. This is what I want to show you. Look at this. I just want to show you. I want to show you. I want to kind of show the babies over there in the waterfall. I want to kind of show that, but I wanted to show you something specific that I think you see, but I want to show you.
It's
So
like,
interesting. I love it.
because what happened
I'm surprised I don't
is
have any
you don't get the
smiley
answer that you
faces over there on the side. I'm surprised I don't have any smiley faces over there on the side. I'm just going to keep it
Something's
right
gonna catch
there. I'm
on.
going to keep it
People
right
will
there so
continue
y'all see
studying.
what I see. And I
Something
know
will
you
catch on.
see what I see because you see what I'm
Same thing to
seeing.
somebody else.
Right, absolutely.
See what I'm saying? So it's just like when my brother was getting annoyed.
He's probably a journalist.
So when he was getting annoyed, the people calling us black. You're not black. You're not. And then until I started
Yeah, and
studying.
once I understand that, I can't stand that.
Yeah, exactly. So when I came up to that, I was like, I understand. You know, every time I hear it, it's like we're not black, we're not this, we're not that, because it's such and such and such. So
I don't understand.
that's what happened.
Like, Black Color Dictionary, I look up more in here, I can't find it in here.
I can create my own name.
Aboriginal, it's
Well,
not in here.
What edition is the fifth?
That's
We
my
don't even
question.
recommend the fifth. We
Because I think-
recommend the fourth edition,
I think
and you
what
should be
happens
using etymological dictionaries that predate the 1800s
This
as
right
well.
here is pretty much
That's law.
Appellation.
And law's not going to have everything in there, especially fifth edition, because they hypothecated and abridged certain terminology through their connotative language.
So that's
I
why.
know, like,
That's
I
why.
had no understanding of law.
Because to be original means you come first. And if you come from Europe, you can't claim to be an aboriginal indigenous.
So you're
Because
just changing
indigenous
your
means you're
account
born
to,
in the
like,
land.
national
Aboriginal means you're the firstborn in the land.
slavery.
So if you are from Europe, you can't claim aboriginal indigenous status.
Okay,
That's why I said subject.
isn't that a legal status and not
Check to make sure.
bloodline? Isn't that a legal status?
Legal begoats a code, policy, and a statute. Law is absolute and can't be misinterpreted. Legalese can be. So we never use those terminologies. We use law, self-law, and master. Yes. You need something else? What do you need? Which one? Another info sheet? What do you need?
I do, yes.
Something told me to have some extras, but I was like, I don't have no extra. I ain't had no extra copies. Something told me to have extras. I ain't had no extra. The IDs? Well, keep in mind, some people were going to have to send emails to Ultimate. I should have had extras. It's not, I mean,
It's our first time out.
exactly, our first Moorish Independence Day. Islam, the 4th of Rajab, 1439. You know, we got these t-shirts. Look, I'm just all blinked out. I can't wait to go to the fireworks. I can't wait. I love these. I mean, Fallon and her consort, thank you. He's at the shop cutting hair. He at the shop chilling. I want to thank you for the t-shirts and your quick turnaround response, but you won't get so many orders. And I'll be posting that in the Facebook groups so you can see all of those posts. Where's Light? Light, bring your little star butt here. Let me say where Light's at, because I need backup. I need backup, Light. Where you at, Light? Let me call Light. Tell her to get her little booty butt over here. Oh, wait a minute. Where's that? That was my Who I can do? I'll only
Sis, how often do you hold class? And where
every Sunday, Saturday.
Is here in Philly?
Yep, and it changes because the library's not open on Sundays anymore, so we got to do it on Saturdays. Thank you, I like them too. We got to do them on Saturdays, but I like doing them at Panero's because it's open, it's outside. I like to be outside, so maybe we'll actually, because we don't have to sit here and reserve this. Maybe we should do class at City Hall. Maybe that's where we should. Right here. Right here. Then I just don't know how I'm getting the board here. I don't know about all that. We gotta think about that. I don't know. Anyway.
So you do it every week?
Every week. And I upload them on Facebook so everybody has them. Islam, Shikas, Allah, Ali. Where? You should have been down here.
This is what they gave us in Chicago.
Chicago, I know. And I have issues with this.
Yeah. I got issues with them.
Because it says, I am a citizen of USA.
Right. But then,
and then it has U.S.A, and that can be loosely translated. That's why we don't use, what do they call them? Acronyms? Because you say what you mean and you mean what you say. So we never should use U.S.A. When we talking about, because you could say unity, salvation, Allah. Is what some people will interpret that to mean. So I'm a citizen of unity, salvation, Allah. But anybody else reading this would say it's it could mean a citizen of the United States of America. You see how that, or U.S.A, the corporate state. That's why you don't use acronyms. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. Because if you translate this to mean I am a citizen of United States of America, you just became another ward. So language is everything. That's why, and that's not a nationality identification card, because who's that identifying? Because they're 501s. All those Moorish Science Temples of America that was supposed to be upholding law and enforcing and making laws. That's a part of the Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is why they're in trouble right now. And why many of them been leaned by the Moorish American nationals, because of their hypothecation of their own sovereignty for benefit in this corporate state. I'm just saying, I'm just the messenger.
Yeah, so now listen, sis, I'm fairly new to the information, you know what I mean? But a lot of people get upset with, I was expressing this to the brother earlier, a lot of people get upset of Europeans. And they say that, they stole our information and all this other stuff.
Well, we gave them an opportunity to by being ignorant.
Well,
and it really goes back to the temples, because they were supposed to be teaching nationality, and they were supposed to be upholding and enforcing laws. So now, if you have corporations going around and they don't have any actual governmental, you might as well take them all. Actual governmental government establishing, enforcing laws, but then you have a country, Morocco, going, all these people coming here for the milk and honey because the people are sleeping on their jobs as fiduciaries.
So that's my thing.
Their fiduciary responsibilities.
Noble Drew Ali, he formed the first Moorish Science Temple, was in 1913, right? It was in Chicago.
That was a Canaanite temple.
The Canaanite temple. My thing is this.
You saying a lot, but you ain't filling nothing out.
Okay, listen, I feel it. I ain't it's big work. I'm gonna fill it out. Before I move on, I'll fill it out. My thing is this. This information has been around for
100+ years.
Right?
Because we haven't been enslaved.
I haven't been harassed by these so-called police.
Highwaymen, bandits.
Highwaymen. People out here getting their motherfucking ass kicked. Excuse my language. That's what it is.
Why are they getting their butts kicked? You think they don't have any reasons in that?
My thing is this. There's absolutely reasons.
Absolutely they do.
I'm not mad at Europeans much. My anger is at my own because, like I told that brother over there, I done had Jehovah's Witness, I done had Scientologists, Christian, knock on my door constantly, harass me. Ain't not once yet seen a fence come to my door since. You understand? I ain't seen it. I've never seen it.
Don't expect it.
Why?
Why would you expect it? Is it?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you why. There's a big reason why, and there's a problem. That's a problem I have. Because as long as my people out here are going through what they're
So
going
what you're
through.
mad at the temples because the temple should have been teaching the
Absolutely,
people. That's
absolutely.
where you're mad at.
So that's my question. So it's been around for this long. Where the fuck we been at? Where y'all been at?
Where they been at? Because I woke up at 35.
Okay, no, I'm not.
I know you're not. I know
I'm
you're
not
not.
pointing fingers in general.
The temples, they converse
Absolutely.
when the prophet passed form, they all corporatized
So when I
and
went to
created
every
benefits.
temple since I asked that question, I've never.
They're not going to give you an answer.
I never got
You're
the right
asking
answer.
You're asking them to save you when you don't need them to save you. All we need as Moorish American nationals is to unify and build this government. Don't get mad, because you got to go through the exorcism. Because we're not blameless in the things that we're going through and the violations that's being dealt with us. The biggest issue that we as a nation have, oh goodness, I gotta get this out to eat. The biggest issue that this nation has is their lack of unity. In violating Circle 7, Chapter 25, where we're not upholding one another, brothers and sisters, as we are charged to by the oaths and covenants and agreements, as well as blood that runs through our veins. We've been upholding strangers versus our own blood. That's on us.
Right.
And of course you're going to have karmatic debts that attach to that because you're not doing your job. Of course you're going to have that. You can't expect to have nothing less. And then everybody that's domiciling, either squatting lawfully or unlawfully at Morocco, all have a role to play in that karmatic debt. Because regardless if you're from different countries, regardless if your nationality is here or elsewhere, regardless of your status, we're all violating each other. Period. By the jobs we have, by the backgrounds we have, we've been doing it all day. If you're a social worker, you're human trafficking. If you're a corporate ward, you're human trafficking. If you're a doctor, you're human trafficking. And it might not just be the person, natural person, it might be the body, it might be the organs, it might be the blood, it could be whatever it is. Everybody is complicit outside of their nativity and human trafficking. Everybody's violating.
I done been to temples and I've asked that question to several people, and there's only one answer that can be given. You gave me the answer. That's not to blow smoke to your ego or nothing like that. But I just been looking for a truthful answer, and nobody's able to give me the answer.
What we're doing right now is building our government, building our unity. There should not be any Moorish organization not attached or not supporting and defending the Moorish American nationals through the Moorish National Public Federal Government, along with the Moorish American Consulate. If you know processes, if you have good administrative processes, it is your duty under Chapter 25, under the bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America, to bring it to your nation and bring it to your people. That is what unity is. Tantium est unum exitum. Tantium est unum exitum. Tantium est unum exitum. We get free together. Unity is the key. So if there's an organization out there claiming to be in favor of uplifting fallen humanity and that's talking junk about the Moorish American Consulate or talking junk about the Moorish National Public Federal Government, they're conversos, and that's all I gotta say. In that regards, Pax Etamor, come here and unify under the Moorish Divine National Movement. You can't claim to be under the Moorish Divine National Movement of the world and you ain't uplifting fallen humanity, and you ain't helping your brothers and sisters to gain knowledge and create and having classes free of charge so people can get their stuff together. Can I repeat? Oh goodness, I don't know what I just said. Sometimes the spirit talking, I don't know what the heck I just said. I'm just letting y'all know. I gotta watch my own videos to liberate my own mind, because sometimes I don't be knowing what I be saying. It's hot, y'all. Y'all like the shirts? I always gotta promote the shirts, man. They're so awesome. Y'all don't know how happy I am. I got my Mo shirt. I got my Mo shirt. Just wanted to show you that. I thought it was interesting.
No, don't have no white.
How you? We ain't got no copies, y'all. So you what?
So
Let me see what you did.
You don't want to use his appellation that for his name, Nam de Greer, that his mother gave.
No.
Well, you didn't fill out no paperwork yet. So you just talk about the info sheet. You ain't gotta white out the info sheet, just cross it out. You good. So you wanna use the appellation? You don't like the name your mother gave you? What she gave you?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the question. My first question was, what should I use as the hyphen on the name?
First, there's no hyphen. You just put Bay, L, Ali, all that. You just put that on there. We don't hyphenate nothing. Keep in mind, you are the nobility of the land. Only people that have to hyphenate are people who are subject. They would hyphenate. You're not a subject. And keep in mind, there's a sovereign citizen movement that is here to try to circumvent the Moors. So always be mindful of that. And there's no such thing as a sovereign citizen movement. I just want y'all to know that. That doesn't exist. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a word people throw out there to try to put stank on the nation because they know darn well no more hypothecation will exist on our land. And I wanted to read you guys, I downloaded earlier today the General Orders letter where your states have already been taken away from all of the hypothecation, the Doctrine of Discovery, Rome as well as the Vatican have already ceded and already given you back your Moorish states. You already have them back. I just want you to know that. You just got to repossess them in your proper person, so you got to get those grids done, Moors. You have to get those grids done. I'm going to read stuff like we're going to be on here all day today with nationalizing Moors, and we'll probably end up at Penn's Landing where we'll literally bring it all in for some of us, because I'll probably be here. I'm not sure. Depends on how hot I get to nationalize Moors. And if not, then we'll be moving and I'll go do the fireworks later on. It's hot, y'all. Tantium, America, no, it's Tantium est unum exitum. Tantium, that's T-A-N-T-U-M, est, unum, U-N-U-M, exitum, exit, U-M, which is we all get liberated together, something like that. I can't remember verbatim what it means. Who says I'm still scanning these documents in? Is that Tiger? Tiger don't ever take a break. Tiger be like on and popping. He at the library. How he at the library? Library closed. Oh, he said he's still scanning them in. It's hot.
I need help with some of this.
What you need help with? Well, you're going to get the MAC number, so you don't have to fill that out. The care of, mailing location, and your Moorish appellation. L is the law enforcer, Bay is the law, L is the law major, Bay is the law enforcer. And then the other titles, the Day, Ali, and Al, are not necessarily self-appointed titles. You got to gain degrees of knowledge, but some people attach that energy to them immediately and get tested as soon as they claim it.
That's why I asked you, because
I wouldn't. I would do Bay or L.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, or both.
Yeah.
Some people do both. I don't need all those trials and tribulations early in the game till I get knowledge.
So now how does that come out? I use the name my mom gave me, right?
You use whatever you want, whatever your energies and your spirits tell you to do. Some people change it all the way around, some people don't. Until you know exactly what it is, because you can always correct it and adjust it and update it whenever you want. It's hot. I need like wife beater ones. I was like, I need wife beaters. This arm, I'm like ready to do this thing. Like, let me look. Oh, it's hot. Oh my goodness.
Why do you call them white people?
I don't know. That's a good question. What do they call t-shirts with no arms? They're definitely not wife beaters, because wife beaters is to beat a whore. It's a horrible derogatory. I can't even talk.
I don't know what you would call it.
Who were the experts in like bill of rights? Like I can't find.
You gotta do some research. You gotta do research, baby.
Okay, like you said, the fourth edition. Does that have more?
So where you at on your paper? I don't want to mess that up.
Huh?
I don't want to mess that up.
What you said? What's the question?
No, I was just saying paperwork. One thing I have is I know no one else is have an appellation.
Say it again.
There's no one else that I know that has an appellation for contact as a family member.
Some people do, yeah, because some people's whole family get it together. Other people, tribes. Other people, they out to lunch till calamity happens. Calamity has to happen for a lot of people.
What I'm saying, as an affirmation.
Oh, so yeah, there still be an emergency contact.
So just put my dad down.
Yeah, yeah. They're not. Everybody's not. Your emergency contacts ain't always going to be nationalized immediately, but it's an emergency contact. So if we need to, if we can't get in touch with you for whatever reasons, we would contact your next tribe member.
I ain't never knew that.
What?
I ain't never gonna say family then.
Don't say it. I know let me tell you, that's why they put us in those education systems, so we would be spelling ourselves, and they could continue to hypothecate. Who's hot, y'all? It's hot. Oh my goodness. And the sun ain't blazing, so I'm a little happy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in the waterfalls.
That's what it is.
I'm gonna be in those waterfalls. It's hot. We need to make dresses too.
So now, what about the photos and all that?
Oh, somebody made another shirt. This is American. Oh, I like it. You're not in a group? I gotta put her in a group, huh? Power. You ain't got your phone out. Somebody posted some other shirts. Isaiah posted other shirts. There wasn't the red stars, but there were other shirts in the group.
So now, sis, am I?
Do you need it? You don't need anything? You got everything? Oh, okay. You got this. Okay. Huh? It's hot.
Is this the correct way to put my name?
So you want Harvey and
I asked for a
DKL?
number, and I just,
And it's an appellation.
Yeah. So now, what about the
Harvey?
capitals?
It's proper. That's proper. Is that ED?
Yeah.
So you want it Ed as opposed to Edward?
Yeah.
Just want Ed?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is that your middle appellation? Your middle name? So Harvey Jones is not proper. It's
Yeah. No. I didn't mean to put the Jones. That's just out of habit. Yeah.
So Harvey Jones is on the
That's the slave name.
Is it Harvey Edward Jones? So that's the proper Harvey Edward Jones.
Edward. Look, let me show you. That's like a sentence, sis.
Is a sentence?
See that?
Oh, so it's Harvey Edward Lee Jones. Goodness, it's long. So you put that whole thing there because you're gonna put it in the nom de guerre spot.
Okay.
It's mine. Yeah, it did come with a consulate, but it wasn't functioning in that capacity. They liquidated. they corporatized their whole process, and that's probably why back in 1954 or 56 it was, where the so-called corporate state, the so-called corporation company tried to act like the consular courts were shut down, which he did not have authority to do, but there was not one Moorish science temple that rebutted that claim.
Yeah.
I think I want to go off live for a little while and relax. What y'all think? What y'all think? Everybody knows where we are. We're at City Hall, at the beautiful building that I can't rotate the screen because for some reason they don't want me to rotate the screen to see the children playing in the falls, in the water. And they got a big old waterfall down the street, and then the arts, what do you call it? Goodness. I think I'm gonna walk down to Avenue of the Arts to go all the way to the what is it? The art museum? I think it's the art museum because that's supposed to be an ancient mound where those big long steps are. So that's an energy center.
I'm just asking. I'm like, but I don't know.
And I haven't walked down it yet. All those, the stairs where so-called Rocky, that actor, ran up the steps in the Rocky movies. That's a energy center in a mound. We're working it. We're working it.
Yeah.
No questions. So we'll probably shut down, come back from time to time to let you guys see the activity down here.
Oh yeah, the
Cause y'all ain't asking no questions. Y'all ain't asking no questions. You scanning?
Yeah, but it's like now
See, if we get the info sheets, they could be responsible to scan them back to us as opposed to us scanning them. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't get the info sheets in the, huh? Oh, you did two already? Oh, okay, cool. What app you using?
It's a PDF scanner.
PDF scanner. You want me to kind of help with? I mean, I can scan some stuff.
It's a PDF scanner. It's just, I don't know what it is.
Look, we all hot. Look at this. It's crazy. Woo.
So you can drive a vehicle without license?
Huh?
Your vehicle, you can drive it without license?
He drive a vehicle without a license. He said a lie. He don't know he said a lie. Driving is commercial. You travel. A vehicle is a conveyance. Conveyance is the private term or the allodial term. So you will be traveling in your private mode of conveyance, as opposed to saying the corporate driving your vehicle. This is the traps they set so they can gain jurisdiction. Because if you say you're driving under the Title 49 of the so-called United States Code, to drive is to perform a commercial act that you have to have privileges,
Really, I'm
which is the
traveling.
purpose of the driver's license. So it's traveling.
Traveling.
And we're gonna take pictures with our t-shirts together as soon as Fatima stop acting crazy. As soon as she stop acting crazy, I'm gonna be jumping in a waterfall later. Well, no, I'm not, because I just did my hair. No, I ain't. I ain't doing that.
Then the state on your vehicle too. Even though you got your title.
Say it again.
The state.
Say it again.
Don't the state own your vehicle even though you own the title?
Say it one more time.
Doesn't the state own your vehicle?
Doesn't the state own your vehicle?
Even though you still have the title?
Even though you still have a title. What title do you have?
You got a certificate of title.
Huh?
Meaning that the title is somewhere else.
Because you're not the holder. You're not the owner.
But
You
it's
have
mine,
certificate.
though.
How is it yours?
I see what you're saying.
And you register.
How is it yours? Because in order to have something, you have to be your proper person. Now, we have a lot of people out there claiming to be United States citizens, which they can never be under 18 U.S.C. 9/11. There's no such thing as a United States citizen. Even Donald Trump, who everybody thinks out to lunch, ain't out to lunch. Everybody else is out to lunch and through ignorance, consenting to be colonized and consenting to be property of a corporation that doesn't even have status and standing and sovereignty in the state because it only exists on paper. So, Trump says, look, I don't want on this so-called 2020 census that everybody, call coming in, my bad. So, the question that he removed from this 2020 census is, am I a citizen of the United States? Am I am a citizen of the United States. Can anybody be a citizen of the United States if 18 USC 9/11, which all positive codes, now we talk of positive codes, have to USCs, United States codes, have to be in harmony with the Constitution. If it's not in harmony with the Constitution, it's what? Notwithstanding, unenforceable, negative, nefito law. It ain't law. Even though it says negative law, it's not law. And if you look at any so-called U.S. code to validate it and substantiate it, it will trace to its original public law, which is based on congressional records. And congressional records stopped being de jure with the dissolvement of the true de jure Republican government by the Sina Dia in 1861 with the warring against the actual government and state of Morocco. So any law and all law after 1861 is corporations. That's when a corporation was established in 1871. So the United States of America and all caps and then the incorporated, that's a corporation company. And I ain't going down that rabbit hole. I just don't feel like it.
What can I do to get my property my property?
Huh?
Well, what can I do to
You know, the word can be used as mine, but I want it to be mine.
Say it one more time. You would have to do the right of travel process, which is grid 3 of the Moorish American Consulate grid. But you got to get the first 2 grids done, which is the first one, nationality, and the second grid is your private allodial trust. Then you would do the right to travel process. Okay? Because it's a whole process of reclaiming all that was hypothecated through you claiming to be under that so-called fictitious corporation as the strawman, which is when you claim to be a United States citizen, you literally are telling the world that you are ignorant, that you are warring against the country and state, and that anybody can abuse you. That's what you're ultimately saying, which is why he took that question out, because to put that question in is for them to through deceit, trickery, which is what they love to do, to try to get you to say that you are a so-called United States citizen so you could dissolve your own sovereignty. So the reality is, who should be filling out a 2020 census? Who is required to fill it out? Only people outside of status. If you don't have status, you're going to fill that document out, because they're going to come to the door and claim if you don't fill that document out, you are required by law to fill it out, or they're going to fill it out for you. Distracted. Yep, you distracted. Is that still working for you? You live with still? It's hot.
It's starting to get better.
What?
Starting to get better.
What, the weather? You think it might rain? What are you looking at?
Wow.
It's like, oh damn, it came. Let's go get the heart machine. Let's get the heart machine.
Look at this.
What's wrong? That's fine. Just make sure you do it on a flat surface. Well, I can help.
See,
But if I know she can use PayPal or Cash App.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like. I don't know what you be talking about sometimes. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Competency is everything. When you're competent, nobody can trick you by comments that they make on social media. And I ignore comments. I let people go play in the sandbox, because our Moors, they like playing in the sandbox. They like and when I say playing in the sandbox, act like little children, because they're incompetent. I just let them go play in the sandbox. A lot of us like playing in the sandbox. We like getting sand in our hair. We like getting sand in our ears and our hair and our mouths, because we don't want to learn. We don't want to learn that Moors is independent. Moors are sovereigns. If they choose to align, they choose to align. If they choose to join, they choose to join. It's a choice that a sovereign can make no matter what, and nobody can hold you to it. Nobody can hold you to being anything else. So if you want to organize through a Moor Science Temple of America, you have every right to do so, but it's not required or mandatory. Just let you know. You can create your own Moorish states. You can create whatever you want. As a sovereign, you can do whatever you want. Nobody can hold you to anything. That's the beauty of being in your own land, on your own land. Owed nobody any particular allegiance. So, Moors, you can do that. But the reality is, to stand on anything, you got to be competent. And if y'all want to get competent and learn the things that you need to learn, y'all got to go play in the sandbox. I don't have time. I know you're not. I'm just making a blanket statement. I'm saying the Moorish Science Temple is what? The Moorish Science Temple is what? What is a temple? Let's do etymology on the word temple. That's you. That's this. Vessel temple has a lot of different names. So if somebody say where you live, you live in here. You live inside this vessel, which is also a temple. So if you're looking for the Moorish Science Temple, look in the mirror, Moors. That's where it's at. It's you. It's me. It's not a building. It doesn't exist in a building. It is an activity of the Moors. That's where it exists. So if you want to say you're a Moorish Science Temple, say you're a Moorish Science Temple. Who's going to refute it? Who can? I'm just saying. I'm being honest. Now, you need to have certain degrees of knowledge. Add-up chambers. They have add-up chambers. They have certain things you need to know. Doing the grid, as well as that binder that I tell everybody about, the binder for newly nationalized Moors, as well as any immigrants and aliens claiming to be anything on our land. It is in everybody's best interest to download that document from the file section and get competent in law, so you can't get snared in the traps set by some of your own wearing turbans and fezzes because they like hypothecating because they got Roman education, colonial Roman education. They've learned it, so they just push it on. You know what I'm saying? Just so we got Moors that are nationalized that also are colonial in their mindset, and that's what needs to be exercised. Your colonial ideology, Islam, Pakistan. So like we gotta stop for play. I don't do for play. People that want to play, I put them in the sandbox. If I say you in the sandbox, that means stop talking. I ain't got time. It's about activity. It's about real actions at Morocco. It ain't about talking. It ain't about beliefs. It's about action and law and enforcement of law. Peace out. Deuces. Oh, it's so hot. There's a lot of shirts, a lot of red shirts on, huh? Is the burger being left with me?
No, he is bathing, taking a dirt bag.
Oh, he been showing that to you for a minute. Yeah.
He's trying to get cool.
Yeah, he's
Like,
hot. That's what
I know that's right. It's we used to have a cheer. It's hot. I know you're not my enemy. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot in here. It must be a Moorish American in the atmosphere. I just changed their language. I ain't want to say what I really wanted to say. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot in here. It must be a Moorish American in the atmosphere. I'm gonna make it better, y'all. I be just trying to get langos. Follow the Aboriginal road. Stop following the yellow brick road. The yellow brick road leads to bullcrap. Follow the Aboriginal road, as Robert would tell me. What's the phrase you gave me, Fatima? What's the phrase you gave me that I can't remember right now? I don't know. Give me one. I don't know. It's so hot. It's hot. I've been doing. It's hot. It's hot out here. It must be a Moorish American in the atmosphere. There's something about this crazy about. I'm gonna do some research. Let's do. I wonder if it's on this phone. I don't think it's on this phone. I think it's on my tablet, y'all. So I'm gonna have to go to Facebook. I'm gonna go to Facebook to read out some stuff since we on this Facebook Live. What am I reading? Let me see. Let me go to my page because I posted a bunch of different terminologies and a bunch of. Oh, I'm sitting here talking. Where's that? Give me a second. All right. Somebody put the definition of peonage. 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 And like I said, all of this was posted on my document. The state or condition of a person, corporation, as above defined. A condition or enforced servitude by which the servitor is restrained of his liberty and compelled to labor in liquidation of some debt or obligation, real or pretended. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just saying. And that was one. But what I wanted to read, I posted like a bunch of different definitions. Federal, I posted the definition of federal, govern, to govern. So govern is the short for government. Govern your mental, government. So govern is to direct and control the actions or conduct of either by established law or by arbitrary will, to direct and control, rule, or regulate by authority, to be a rule, precedent, law, or preceding principle. So what does govern mean? You have to have authority to govern. You have to have authority. State. A people permanently occupying a fixed territory bound together by common law, habits, and customs into one body politic, exercise exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty, there that word goes, sovereignty, and control over all persons, corporations, and things within its boundaries. These are not illusional boundaries, actual boundaries, capable of making war and peace and entering international relations with other communities of the globe. Act of state, an act done by the sovereign, here we go, power of a country by its delegate within the limits of the power vested in him. The act of a state cannot be questioned or made the subject of a legal proceedings in a court of law. And we talk about court of law. Court of law. What can be named a court of law? What is a colony? A dependent political community consisting of a number of citizens. Citizens are subjects, because citizens have to be granted that status through a sovereign. So to be a citizen is to be granted that by a sovereign. So you cannot claim to be a citizen of anything unless the sovereigns, the Moorish American nationals, mandated it through some type of a proclamation or declaration. But it has to be done by a sovereign. So for you to sit here and call anybody a sovereign citizen speaks to your incompetence and ignorance in law. And I'm gonna leave that there. I done banged that to bed already. I ain't gonna keep banging it. All right. So to be a colony is a dependent political community consisting of a number of citizens. So you can't even call yourself a colony unless you're a citizen, which is granted authority or naming by a sovereign. And to be a sovereign, you have to be Aboriginal Indigenous, because only sovereigns can establish states. That's why all these corporations falsely identifying as states have that in capitals. And having it in all capitals denotes a corporation with no status and standing and existing only on a piece of paper. I'm gonna read this. Colony. A dependent political community consisting of a number of citizens of the same country who are immigrants. Who immigrated. Immigrated mean they came from someplace else. They immigrated therefrom to people another and remain subject to the mother country. I'm going to read that again. A colony, British colonies, are a dependent political community consisting of a number of citizens of the same country who have immigrated from someplace else therefrom to people another and remain subject to the mother country. So if you don't have nationality here, you've immigrated over as subjects, which is why the Moroccan, I can't even think of the naming of it, but Morocco's only have subjects who immigrated in from another country that they have sovereignty or status over, A settlement in a foreign country possessed and cultivated either wholly or partly by immigrants and their dependents. That's what a colony is. So you come from somebody else. You come from somewhere else, and you're subject or citizens, whichever those sovereigns decide. Do I gotta keep going with that? I'm going home. A court, to claim to be a court in law, because there's a such thing as a court. There's a such thing as a court, which in outside of law, which means a space which is uncovered, by which may be partly or wholly enclosed by buildings or walls.
Oh, okay.
When used in connection with a street, indicates a short street, blind alley, or open space, but a short street enclosed by dwellings and other buildings facing it. So those are two. So one is a space which is uncovered, a building. But in law, Now let's talk about a court in law. A person or suit of the sovereign. I'm gonna be beating this to death. A person in suit of the sovereign, the place where the sovereign sojourn with his regal retinue, wherever they may be. An organ of the government belonging to the judicial department, which functions in the application of law to controversies brought before it in public administration of justice. So can a tribunal who is foreign in nature in a colony of settlers immigrated from another land claim to be a court? No. Jurisdiction is everything. In personam jurisdiction is everything. Oh God, here we go, Sharif. I'm gonna do this one. The chief, in American law, a sheriff in American law is the chief executive and administrative officer of a county. I'm gonna go to county. Being chosen by popular election, his principal duties are in aid of the criminal courts and civil courts, criminal and civil. Civil means you, at one point you were not civilized, and Moors have always been nobility. Such as serving process, summoning juries, executing judgments, holding judicial sales, and the like. He is also the chief conservator of the peace within his territorial jurisdiction. When used in statutes, the term may include a deputy sheriff. I gotta find county because I did download that as well. Oh, here, is this it? County. You're gonna love this one. County. One of the civil for individuals who had to be civilized. Moors, when we talk about civil, we're talking about those who at one point weren't. So by very definition of civil, we're not talking about Moors, because Moors are noble, nobility. Can never be misidentified as a civilian or civil, okay? So a county, one of those civil divisions of a country for judicial and political purposes. Etymologically, it denotes that portion of a country under the immediate government of a count or earl. Well, we don't have counts and earls here. One of the subdivisions of the Kingdom of England. In the most of the states of the American Union. Huh? It's not? Let me see.
Right at the end. Right there.
The baby.
Your name right next to your name.
So one of the principal subdivisions of the Kingdom of England in the most of the states of the American Union. Oxymoron, American Union. Denoting a distinct portion of territory organized by itself for political and judicial purposes. In modern uses, the word may denote in modern uses, the word may denote either the territorial marked off to form a county or the citizens' residence within such territories, taken collectively and considered as invested with political rights, or the county regarded as a municipal corporation, possessing subordinate, to be subordinate, meaning something supersedes and is higher than you, which are the sovereigns. Governmental powers, or an organized jural society vested with specific rights and duties. So what am I saying when I say county? Accounting is accountant is British. is from England. They have no jurisdiction, no status, no standing here at Morocco. So when you're going into the county, the only purpose for you going there is to put things on the public record so they know what they can no longer even hypothecate under the doctrine of discovery. So when you put your land titles, when you put your repossession documents, who is that behind? When you put your repossession documents, I'm like, who that coming up on me behind me? Huh?
I had to go to China.
You had to go to China for what? Ooh, there's nothing out here. They ain't got no porta potties like I would use.
They got them locked.
They got a lot. They should have had a bunch of them out here.
They should have.
It's long. I'm about to get off this live feed. I'm just saying. I just wanted to give certain information because a county doesn't exist here. Doesn't have sovereignty. Doesn't have any jurisdiction here. It's a corporation. It's a corporation doing business with civilians who are subjects of it. And Moorish American nationals, by its very definition, should never be in those buildings or in those jails because that's a violation. Because they're Moorish American nationals and they are not civilians and they are not from England. The only individuals supposed to be there are people from Europe doing business. So Moorish, you ain't supposed to be in that venue. And you ain't supposed to be in those POW camps, and they know that. And that's why they're mad. I had some more parts of this definition that I wanted to kind of talk about. Yes, baby. Say it again? Yes, definitely. We got one, so this is what, number what? Huh?
They lied.
Huh?
Went in there, she said they.
Oh, you on 3003? It's wrong. That's awesome. Mo's is on fleek mode. Mo's is on fleek mode. That's how hot. Wherever, on next to the signature.
Okay, on both pages.
Yes, both. Yep. Because the highest seal of the nation is your thumbprint. Notaries, who needs notaries? Notaries, only subjects need notaries because somebody has to validate their status and standing and who they are. Wait a minute. I'll talk about that offline. Never mind. It's long. Access to more. It's hot, y'all. Oh, goodness. What is a racist? Does anybody know what a racist means etymologically? What a racist means etymologically? I guess I gotta school everybody today. Let me go to it. Because there's only one race, I just hope y'all know that. There's no such thing as racism in America. There's only knowing the law and not knowing the law and being violated by those who don't know the law by those who don't know the law. So, ignorance of the law, you can't claim ignorance of the law when you're being violated and when you're doing the violating. So it's a double-edged sword. So if you're violating somebody, causing an injury, and claim ignorance of the law, or also claim I'm doing my job, that's not a defense for violating. And when individuals come to you and try to claim to be from any so-called governmental body, they have to validate that status. They have to validate that standing and validate what they just said.
Okay.
It's not easy to just say something and say, oh, this is who I am. Validate it. How do you know that? Let's first start with status, because status talks about everything else. Because if somebody sits here and talks about that they are a United States citizen, well, under 18 U.S.C. 911, they're admitting to not being a part of any lawful body, to being a hypothecator, a bandit, an outlaw, and a terrorist, because that does not exist, which is why Trump took it off the census. He was smart to take it off the census. But at the same time, only subjects or individuals who don't have a status and standing, who are here illegally under commercial agreements called passports or green cards, you have to fill those out because you came here under a contract and you're held to that. So property has to fill out 2020 census, automatic. Because you have an illegal standing and status here.
I just need to take it.
Got a Manchurian over there. I like that. Manchurian employee. Seeing a lot more of those. I'm just saying. One day you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be all Manchurian's assistant. And none of these hypothecators will be here. I like that the let me not say that on public, on this platform. Islam, y'all, I'm gonna shut down for a little bit and probably come back a little later. Islam variants, I see you up there. Islam, I'm gonna call you as soon as I get off this platform and do some work because they over here working and I'm not doing nothing because I'm hot. Thanks for tomorrow, y'all. Peace and love. Happy Moorish American National Independence Day. The 4th day in the month of Rajab, 1439. Peace and love.
Without the
Your whole
I
name?
can't even get off the platform. That's so crazy. They be tripping.